Do you have any inkling as to what truly transpired between the presidency and the last head of the Immigration Service? Because back and forth, some would have thought it's about the ISIS matter, and now we're going to see another big story making the round here, how corruption and discipline thrived on that paradigm. That's by Moro. I guess that's the former minister who was in charge of that particular agency. Can you tell Nigerians what went down? Because first he was suspended before he was finally removed from office.
I think we can only rely on the official, version. And I think, if I remember very well, the official version was that he was removed or suspended over the issue of the illegal recruitment of some, 1,000 staff. I think that is the only line that I would want us to adopt, unless we have other, official, justification. It's interesting that the former minister Moro is now finding his voice. I mean, of course, to me, I see that as just pure politics.
Pure politics, it was saying in all of this, we're almost getting to see about almost 40 appointments now from the president, apart from
35 to be precise.
Yes, 35, apart from what we've seen in the electoral body, INEC. Has there been anyone that has a female appointed?
Not that I know that we have appointed, of course, the INEC, but I think we should not rush to judge this government as being gender unfriendly until when we see.
I don't think Nigerians are in a rush, but 35 and not a female.
You see, when we see the full gamut of what the appointment is going to look like, you see, because when you come up to say this kind of appointment that have been made, you will agree with me too that they may not be the most appropriate. Most of them, chief of staff, for instance, I think, like I've been explained, the kind of relationship that must exist between the principal and the chief of staff. I think it might be a bit. It's not unusual, but probably because after all we have a chief of staff in Kaduna State who is a lady. But again, you can see the record of transaction. This lady had always been chief of staff to him. They'd worked together before. Now, I look at most of the points that people are referring to today, the service chiefs, mostly, about 6 of them are service chiefs. And I think it's probably, the opportunity will come. And I can assure you that this regime will be very, very gender-friendly.
Lai Mohammed, during the electioneering campaigns, I mean, a lot of Nigerians looked forward to the start of this administration. I mean, with anticipation, things are going to move forward, things are going to be different. We're going to see a more holistic country. The APC is going to come in to show Nigeria that it's about the nation. But so far, yes, you call them personal staff, but 35 and a region in the country appears to be neglected. Some would say, when the president was in the US, he said something about 5% and 95%. Is this what's playing out?
I don't think so. You see, I think 3.5 months is too early, really, to judge an administration. I can assure you that the next, set of appointments would cure all the imbalance that you're thinking about now.
Let me ask this question, if I may come in here. 3.5 months might look too short, too small. But how do you determine where someone is going? Is it from the start of a journey or from the middle of a journey?
Not always from the start, not in governance. You see, only certain appointments are available right now. Some appointments are tenured. Even if you want to remove them, you can remove them now. And you see, this government has been elected for 4 years. And I can assure you, I'm very confident what I'm saying. that this government will be fair to all concerned. But I think we should not rush to judgment.
You consider these questions that are being asked now a rush?
No. You see, questions will be asked. All these concerns are legitimate. No doubt. But we probably see what they don't see, because we have a more holistic picture of things. And the president in particular is not insensitive to this, criticism. But you see, it's about the vision. It's about the whole picture, and which will unfold gradually as we go on.
Some might say, okay, it might be too early to bring this up, but when these recent appointments were made, almost immediately after that, there was this news also in the media about one of the presidents denying the 100 days in office promises.
You see,
is the APC still focused on that first 100 days and its promises, or is that also jettisoned?
No, I think I've been here before, and I think I answered this question. Buhari never promised he was going to do anything in 100 days. That's not the truth. You see, when you are running a campaign, all kinds of literature will emerge, and people will say there are support groups, there are volunteer groups, and they bring literature. But I came here and I said here, I just misunderstood that there are only two documents that you can judge a party with. That is the constitution of the party and the manifesto of the party. Those are the only two documents of the constitution that are registered with the INEC, and you can actually, go to court on or hold in a party accountable for. When we were running this campaign to election, most times I open newspapers and I saw adverts from groups that are unknown to the party. We call them supporters groups of all kinds of sorts. And what we're saying is that this party would respect and honor all the promises it made during elections, either in the manifesto or with the president said we are going to do.
So in that period, when you saw groups that you didn't quite recognize, you didn't disown them, did you?
We did a few. We did a few, because there was a group that came out to say that they were APC and that they supported what was going on, supported Boko Haram. We did, yeah, I remember. You see, nobody censors what goes on in the newspapers. And we saw many people claim that they were supporters of this and supporters of that. What could we do? But what we're saying is that the documents you are going to judge us with are manifesto, our constitution, and whatever the president actually said on the rostrum.
I'm happy you just mentioned the constitution, because if you look at the third schedule of the constitution, you must have also seen that the government must ensure, in quote, the principles of proportional sharing of all bureaucratic, economic, media, and political posts at all levels of government. Yeah. And so far, as Nyota asked, do you get to wait from the beginning or wait till you get to the middle before you see that that is not being done? So far, it doesn't show that it's been followed.
You see, it's not as simple as that. It's not as if you have 1,000 things, to share, over 4 years. And then the first 4 that come must go to the 4, or the first 6 that come must go to each of the zones. Supposing you don't have somebody from that zone who is qualified for that kind of position, what do you do? For instance, I've given you 2 examples now. Take, for instance, the issue of the issue of chief of staff. It cannot just go to any zone, but we must say again, we have competent people from every part of Nigeria. We have people with integrity from every part of Nigeria. But when that occasion and that opportunity comes, we'll definitely make sure that nobody's left out.
So the president liaised with the APC before coming up with this list?
The president is in constant, consultation, formally and informally, with the APC, either in groups, as leaders. I just actually no day, if you check the president manifest, that one leader of the APC, one group of the APC is not with him. So the issue of consultation is there.
Are you worried, well, without a mention of any name, that some party members of your party, or some party members, have been mentioned by some people talking about corruption cases or alleged corruption matters against them, to the extent that some have also petitioned the president that such people shouldn't be on his cabinet?
You see, we run a democracy, and anybody is free to make allegations. Those allegations will be investigated. If they are found to be true, they will be pursued to a logical conclusion. And I think the president has put this matter beyond, controversy when he was asked, in Washington by Manpour, that what was going to happen if any member of your party is accused of corruption. He says, no member of my party will escape justice on account of just being a member of my party, as long as we can prove, the allegations. But we also know that a lot of mischief is at work, and this is now the duty of the anti-graft agencies to look at the petitions and see which of them are actually sustainable and which are not.